Tucked along South Lake Ferguson Road here in Washington County are homes that have a nice view of the lake. Most of these homes on this street are on stilts, but why are they on stilts? Well, because the residents live in the floodplain. We all know the Mississippi Delta is very flat land that floods easily during heavy rainfall events or when the river rises too high. However, the land that is in a floodplain is even more susceptible to flooding because of its location.
So if you have a house on Lake Ferguson now and it's sitting on the ground or it's below the 100-year floodplain, it's likely it will flood and has flooded in the last few years, time and time again. It's flood insurance for those houses is very expensive, and it's important if you can raise that house up above the 100-year floodplain, and then your flood insurance goes way down drastically, and your chances of getting flooding go way down as well.
A couple of homes along Lake Ferguson Road were destroyed in a tornado last January. The other homes have had repairs and have been fixed up or raised higher off the ground after several flooding events, including the historic May 2011 flood. That flooding event happened due to heavy rainfall events along with snow melt occurring in the Midwest. The rising Mississippi River levels in the Midwest affected the level here in the South and down to the Gulf of Mexico. Donna Pettit has been a resident of South Lake Ferguson Road for 16 years and shares her flood experience.
Our major flood was in 2011 when we had 8 inches of water in our home on the north end. The rest of our home did not have the water in it. Of course, with that being out, power was out and everything else, so we were out of our home probably about 6 months at that particular time. Since then, we've had a couple of floods. Basically just getting about anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 feet of water under our home.
Donna and her husband have their emergency plan in place and a backup shelter in case they're unable to leave their property.
We'll get everything up off of the ground. We'll move it out if necessary. We have a camper, so when we are flooded out and we cannot access by boat after the power goes out, then we will move to our camper.
They also watch the river gauges to guide when they need to take action and to start prepping their home.
The lower road goes under, I think, around 43 feet. The upper road will go under 51 feet. We have to make sure we have our plan done and everything moved up and or out by the time the upper road goes underwater.
For other residents who may not necessarily have a plan yet, may want to create one and, if necessary, raise their homes a little higher off the ground.
So if you live on the unprotected side of the levee on Lake Ferguson, you have to build your house up to an elevation of 143.5. That's 3.5 feet above the 100-year floodplain on Lake Ferguson. So you'd have to build your house up 15, 20 feet off the ground. If you live on the protected side of the levee, there are floodplains, within the city of Greenville, obviously, and you have to build your house 18 inches above the 100-year floodplain.
If you live in the floodplain, use these tips to protect your family, your home, and to maintain your flood insurance. This is Ashley Renee reporting for the Delta News.